As the crypto world is evolving and it starts threatening the fiat ecosystem, I believe it is the right time to discuss about regulation and the road ahead. Today we have with us Mr. Mishra from Finjuris here in Dubai to discuss some very hot topics. Thank you so much for being with us today. You already know that I have completed a specific research on the regulation of digital tokens from the policy perspective, and I selected specific countries, including the UK, France, Germany, Singapore, Russia, and Australia. The reason I chose those countries is because they are known they have financial hubs, and they have the ability, to a certain degree, to influence other countries in terms of regulation, their regulatory approach for the cryptocurrency. So based on my research, I found that certain countries were considered as early adopters, I would say. At least they tried. For example, Germany, Singapore, and Australia. While UK and France were like somewhere in the middle, later adopters, and Russia a late adopter. Another thing I found is that some of those countries, they used their geopolitical position, their geopolitical connections, while others, they didn't. So my question to you is, so how does the regulatory approach of early adopters like Germany, Singapore, Australia, position them for leadership in the digital token space compared to other countries? How do you see it?
See, everyone knows as far as crypto world is concerned. So Europe was the first one who started, approaching really positively. Singapore, the name of Singapore, Australia, you talk about Europe, they are the early adopters for sure. But now, these days, things have changed completely. If you look at Mika is like in Europe, I have no regret to say their approach towards regulation is what? You have to give space to innovators. If you come up with so much, to do this, to do that, regulation doesn't mean to restriction. Regulation means you are going to regulate. You have to help the newcomers. So looking at the situation in Europe is not that great, frankly speaking. Singapore, everything. If you apply for any license, it took near about 12 months. So in this situation right now, UAE has done wonderful job. No one ever think about like, UAE is the leading. Right now, UAE is the crypto heaven. If you look at the way they're approaching, UAE has got Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, one. ADGM, Abu Dhabi Global Market, they have the stuff. Dubai International Financial Center. The regulation is there. Even you see the licensing perspective, even SCA, the market regulator over there in UAE is up. But obviously, BHARA, Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, is the federal regulator for crypto right now in UAE. And the kind of freedom they have right now, the kind of thought process they have is quite positive. From regulatory aspect, now if you see, recently they come up with stablecoin regulation, and they come up with the regulation, and already ADT is there in the market. They are fast, effective, and they know the knobs. So that makes UAE stand out from others.
Given that you mentioned UAE and the fact that we are both in Dubai right now, so let's say that I'm a trader, and also considering the Bitcoin price that it's constantly increasing. So if I want to trade here in Dubai, do I need any kind of license?
If you're an individual, if you are dealing with crypto or you are trading with crypto or any cryptocurrency in any exchange, you need a license over here that is called proprietary trading license. And you need to take NOC from Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. If you have that, you are going to protect yourself. How? Reason, when you do peer-to-peer transaction, P2P in Binance, you don't know the other party. At the end of the day, the KYC is there with Binance. So tomorrow, if anything gone wrong, then in that case, it will be a great help So it's better to have the license. P2P, in P2P case, it's better to have proprietary trading license. That's the best thing.
Right. I just have a follow-up question here because you say it's better to have it. What if I don't have it?
If you don't have it, tomorrow something has happened. Let's say example, wallet to wallet transaction happened and the other wallet connected with some criminal activity. Maybe some CFT, anti-money laundering activity. CFT, you know that it's related to terrorism. Like then if those stuff get into your wallet, then you're gone. It will be criminal case, the investigation, and a lot of things will come up. So it's better to have the proprietary trading license, which will help you because at least you are regulated. Regulator know that you are doing. So it's better to have it.
All right. So it's better to have it just to protect yourself in any case. All right.
Absolutely.
I have heard that it takes a lot of time to issue licenses here. Like let's take as an example VARA, right? Why is it so? Is there any issue? Why it takes so?
See, I'll tell you one thing. You need to know ADGM is issuing crypto license, DIFC is issuing crypto license, VARA is also issuing crypto license. In case of ADGM and DIFC, yes, they are taking a lot of time to give the license. In case of VARA, yes, they're like, I've seen many videos, they are talking about VARA takes 6 months time, 8 months time, 1 year time to issue the licenses. You need to understand, they are the regulators and they are responsible for investors' money and they have to reply to the government as well. And when you talk about crypto is till now, it's in gray area. And at the end of the day, you know that UAE for a longer time was under FATF gray list. I don't think any of the government would like to do some mistake where they don't want to put themselves under trouble. So regulator, it's the responsibility of the regulator to take all the information and regulate it properly. And VARA is a wonderful regulator. And they have very modern approach. And if you can see in 2 years time, almost 2.5 years time, they have given many licenses. If you compare with any other regulator in the world. So it's not all about time. If you give them all the stuff, you give it in 4 months, they will give you the license. So I have very, very positive, I have very, very positive view towards the regulator, that is VARA, Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority.
I can see here in Dubai that in many shops they were involved in buying and selling the USDT. Can deal with them? Are they legal? Are they licensed?
See, practically speaking, many of them, without license, they are doing this dealing. They are involved in buying and selling of cryptocurrencies, which is absolutely illegal here in UAE after the regulatory. If people look at VARA's regulation, they should take a license for broker-dealer. They are OTCs, they are over the counter. For them, the best suitable category is broker-dealer. They should immediately apply for it. Yep, and I have some, I received some of the cases on some of the notices being served by VARA to them that few guys they involved in doing so. So yes, few guys are there. They are doing it, which is absolutely illegal. And if you are an investor or if you are someone who deals with crypto, then don't deal with them. First of all, if you'd like to deal with anyone, then you should ask them whether they have VARA license or not. So that license name is broker dealer license, so that they can do that by opening up a shop anywhere in mainland or in DWTC, wherever they are there. So, but with VARA license for sure.
Let's say that I would like to start the payment processing business here in Dubai related to crypto, right? And fiat as well, not just crypto, crypto and fiat. Where can I start? How can I start?
If it is crypto and fiat, let's say it's a hybrid model, like you would like to deal with crypto payment processing and fiat payment processing. Under VARA, there is a category called payment and settlement.
All right.
Crypto payment and settlement you should apply, but eventually it's not only VARA, you need the permission you need the license from central bank as well. So you have to apply for VARA and central bank both, so that you can start your crypto and fiat, both payment settlement business over here.
Let's say that I would like to start the payment processing business here in Dubai related to crypto, right? And fiat as well, not just crypto, crypto and fiat. Where can I start? How can I start?
If it is crypto and fiat, let's say it's a hybrid model, like you would like to deal with crypto payment processing and fiat payment processing. Under VARA, there is a category called payment and settlement.
All right.
Crypto payment and settlement you should apply, but eventually it's not only VARA. You need the permission you need the license from central bank as well. So you have to apply for VARA and central bank both, so that you can start your crypto and fiat, both payment settlement business over here.
In case that I'm a prop crypto trader and I would like to manage other investors' crypto, how can I do it here in the UAE? Do they have to be licensed or?
See, if at all you know your stuff, like you are a very good crypto trader, you are able to manage others' crypto and show them profit or guide them, you can do that here in UAE. Again, under Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, there is a category called Virtual Asset Management and Investment License. If you can apply for it, if you'll get that, then you can definitely manage others' virtual asset, and you can leverage on your experience for sure.
So here in UAE, whenever I contact any company, corporation, agent, they always ask me to not apply for VARA. This is because they say that it takes a lot of time and then you have to deposit a lot of money there. Can you clarify if that's true or something else behind it?
See, I would like to start with one line, like when you don't know something, you try to confuse your customers. All these agents, they're agents, by the way. What they're trying to, if they don't know how to apply, then they go behind it's okay, it takes a lot of time. Even few of them, they approached us, few of the clients. They said, okay, someone is saying we need to deposit $1 million, that will be blocked, and 2 million, that will be blocked. Is it so? So how exactly it is? VARA is asking so much of money. I said, go to VARA's website. Everything is mentioned over there along with the rule book. Don't hurt others. Like, see, at the end of the day, those incorporation agents, they find it difficult to do the paperwork. So simply they want to avoid it, and they are disseminating misinformation. Again, I have seen many YouTubers from Europe, from other part of the world. They try to give misinformation about VARA and trying to create a kind of fear in the minds of others that, okay, don't apply for VARA, it takes a lot of time, it is difficult to get, you need a lot of money, they're asking too many questions. It's all bullshit. Tell me one thing, you would like to do crypto business. Crypto is as good as money and maybe more than worth of money. So you're a real fiat currency. So at the end of the day, you'd like to do such a massive stuff. Regulator will not ask you for the paper. Regulator will not take its time. Regulator, how come it is possible to do all that? So it's myth. And as far as all these agents are concerned, be aware about it. Anyone say anything, it's UAE. Everything is there online. Go to VARA's website. Check it out. That's the best thing to approach.
We can see actually that there's a lot of circulation at the moment. To an extent, you understand it because it's a trillion industry. It's getting bigger and bigger by the day. There's a lot of money involved. And at the end of the day, everyone has an opinion. But actually, this was my follow-up question. How do you deal with that speculation? How are you going to find what's true and what's not true? So find yourself now, okay, because we know very well that you're knowledgeable. You have been in the industry more than a decade, if I'm not wrong. But not everyone is like you. So as a person that I don't have experience and I want to get involved and I see here and there different information, what would you suggest me? To go to the website, contact someone? How do you think I should approach it?
See, when it comes to crypto, yes, it's very, very young right now. The industry is young. Virtual asset industry is young. As far as regulation is concerned, since last 2 years, 3 years, things have changed. I would say after 2021, things changed in many countries. Now, if you look at many countries, those who are talking about, okay, Bitcoin will not work, crypto will not work, these are all Ponzi. Now they are fighting for reserves. They want to increase Bitcoin reserves. Officially, their finance ministers are talking about, okay, let's increase Bitcoin reserve. Trust me, in this situation, if you are an entrepreneur, you'd like to get into this industry, definitely after going through a lot of news and everything, the way people are doing things, yes, this is $1 trillion industry, and it's a massive, massive chance if you are a technocrat having little knowledge about technology plus finance. Massive money is there in this industry. But at the same time, be careful about one thing. What is that? Regulation. It's very young. So people are, let's say, I'll give an example. You are sitting in Asian countries, you are taking a license from Poland and trying to take money from your country, your country's resident, and try to do some business in crypto. How feasible it is? How feasible it is? Let's say, example, you take the license from UAE, you are trying to do business across the globe. So challenges are there because there is no global agreement among the countries to regulate it. But at the end of the day, remember one thing, if you are an entrepreneur, you would like to start, research is must, and you should reach the right people at right time. If you reach them, then definitely the information will be there. And to know whether that's correct or not, I think every regulator has got a website, digital presence, go through it. And it is possible they have their email ID, send them the mail. But at the end of the day, with all that stuff, you should search for someone who has got already experience in this industry. That matters a lot.
I just have a follow-up question. Basically, I want to look a bit on the future of digital tokens, of crypto across the globe. Again, based on my research, I found certain shared trends across different countries. And I would love your view. So what they see on the horizon is CBDCs quite a lot, tokenization, that it's already happening to a lot of tokenization. That's already happening. Many decentralized business models. And something interesting that I would like your view. My empirical findings suggest that Bitcoin could eventually be the new golden standard. What's your view? It's because the way I see it, it was quite contradicting. Isn't it quite contradicting having on the one side the trend of CBDCs, that it's going to be huge, and then on the other side saying that, okay, but there's a potential of Bitcoin to be the new gold standard. So how do you see that? How do you see it?
I see. Let me clarify certain things. CBDC, central bank digital currency, is different from cryptocurrency. Again, cryptocurrency is of different kinds. Token, coin, decentralized, centralized. People need to understand what is the difference between CBDC and cryptocurrency. CBDC is nothing. CBDC is already there, I would say. They just name it as CBDC. What is CBDC? Your card is a CBDC. What? Central bank. Who is issuing the currency? Central bank digital currency. The same central bank was issuing currency. They name it a digital currency. What do you mean by digital currency? Digital currency, it's a number. Your number is already there in your card. There is no cash. There is no physical stuff. So for my understanding, CBDC is absolutely a concept which is no way related to cryptocurrency. You need to know cryptocurrency. What is the meaning of crypto? What is the meaning of currency? So cryptocurrency, CBDC doesn't have any relation. Then comes digital currency. Digital currency is already there. I would say in case of card, whatever the numbers are there, those digital currency is already there. Now the question is about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, yes, Bitcoin has the potential, because why countries are talking about maybe the Bitcoin will replace gold. How? Simple. No one knows the owner of Bitcoin. It is decentralized. Now the fight is on. Which are those countries who will have more Bitcoin reserve? That fight is on. That fight is on, very much on. If you look at the way countries are approaching, their finance ministers are discussing about Bitcoin as a reserve in public meetings. So there is a potential for Bitcoin to reach some millions for sure. The way you look at in US, what has happened. So this shows that at the beginning of the Bitcoin era, Bitcoin has not reached its peak yet. It will, and that will be much more valuable than gold for sure. And if you are trying to find out some connection between CBDC, digital currency, all that stuff with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a different segment altogether. Cryptocurrency is different and CBDC is different. People now, everyone is maturing, they will understand the concept. So there is no relationship with CBDC, digital currency, and Bitcoin, for sure.
I will go back to what you said earlier, that there is not at the moment global collaboration, cooperation in terms of regulation. So how do you see this happening? Because to my understanding, is this what is missing? Because every country is trying to approach it differently from a regulatory perspective. And interestingly, some countries, they have agreements partnering with other countries as well. But at the end of the day, as a country, you have your objectives. So, but then again, the research shows that collaboration needs to be there. So how do you see that happening?
See, unless there is a global collaboration, the regulation, the cryptocurrency regulation or virtual asset regulation cannot be country specific. It will not be that impactful. If you look at all these licensing approach, let's say I'll just start with Estonia, then comes to Lithuania, then comes to Latvia, you talk about Poland, you talk about Czech Republic. Look at those countries, smaller countries. They want to come up with this licensing for what? For making some money, attracting these new Gen Zs to their countries. So that should not be the objective. If you would like to regulate it, global consensus required. Major countries should play a real role. Otherwise, this thing will happen. My view is very, very clear. Go for the first 10 financial strength country, big countries. They should collaborate with each other. They should say, okay, let's come up with a regulation and respect it. Let's be your country specific regulation, but exchange of information, connections, and some kind of collaboration is needed to regulate it. Otherwise, it will be like this. And if there is no collaboration, the regulation will not be that impactful. That's what my viewpoint is all about.
All right, but then I will again follow up on that. My question is very practical. How feasible that is? Why am I asking that? Okay, let's say that certain countries, they share similar characteristics. Okay, let's assume that we're talking about democratic countries. They can find some common ground, but then how can you deal with how can you deal with, for example, with China? How can you deal with Russia? They have decided in a certain way to go, their own direction, to follow their own path. So do you think at the end of the day that will be feasible? Do you see it happening? Because I understand that it has to happen. It has to happen. But do you see it happening anytime soon?
See, everyone knows UN, United Nations. So UN, if UN will initiate the process, so almost maximum countries are the member countries. UN should initiate a process, whether you are a democratic country or dictatorial country. So you have to find a common ground because it's for the betterment. From the, FATF. FATF has done something for this. They come up with Rule 6 and blah, blah, blah. Let's the regulatory, they say, okay, if you want to have your own regulatory, follow that. How many countries are following? Many of them, who shy away from the regulation. Countries, those are very, very conservative in their thoughts. And surprisingly, they need to understand if the young generations are so much addicted towards crypto, is it possible to make crypto away from the ecosystem. No, it is not possible. So better to have one thing. Let's sit together and find out a common ground to regulate it. Otherwise, cash and crypto, they will be like C plus C. And finally, the conclusion will be really devastating because anyone can use it. For bad actors can use it very effectively. Very effectively. So regulation, regulatory body, and law enforcement agency are the only key people who can stop all this. Yeah.
I go back to my research, right? Because I don't like to talk about things that I don't know, right? So I found out that taxation plays a huge role, actually, in terms of the adoption. And you could basically see that. You mentioned earlier that Europe started adopting it quite early. And if we go back on those days, we will see that also France was one of the first countries. However, correct me if I'm wrong, I think at that initial point, they had quite a high taxation, 40% or something like that. And some claim that, many businesses, they moved to Switzerland, etc., etc. So now, putting the facts on the table, we can see that, okay, regulation plays a huge role. Countries, they go, at this point at least, on their own ways. But where taxation fits in?
See, I'll tell you one thing. As far as taxation is concerned, all these countries, what they are using taxation to demotivate the adopters. I can give many examples. Many examples. The recent example is India. 30% tax. And for your kind information, India is number one in the list as far as volume of trade is concerned. Number one in the list. Definitely the most populated country. And in crypto, the number one. Volume of trade volume is number one in the world. That is India. Taxation is 30%. Why this 30%? They are trying to demotivate crypto traders. They're trying to demotivate. So taxation is something, once regulation is in place, then taxation will be normal. So now these people are using taxation to demotivate the adopters, nothing else. Because none of the central bank is really in favor of crypto, and they will never be. Their central bank. They're for fiat, not for crypto. So hopefully every country, if they want to adapt it, they must have a separate wing for crypto regulation, inclusive of financial specialists, and those specialists, those who know financial and legal aspect. So financial, legal, and technical, three aspects necessary to formulate a department where they can come up with the regulation and try to connect the dots between different countries. And one country has to come up and lead the show. Hopefully, the way US is approaching right now, Trump will take the lead role. That's what I can see. Hopefully, the crypto will see, real sunshine soon.
It has been clear taxation plays a role. They try to demotivate traders. Now, and regulation plays a huge role. Okay, fair enough. So now we have, let's say that we have two categories. We have the individual traders, let's say like me, like you, like everyday people, and they have also the businesses that they offer those services. My question is, at the end of the day, is there any tax haven?
Tax havens are there for crypto as well, but those are offshore. But if you say now, UAE is a tax haven for many crypto guys, there is no VAT. There's no VAT here. So I would say, okay, they have the corporate tax, but if you want to save that tax also, there are international free zones as well. Go there, take the license, no tax. But straight away, in case of crypto, there is no VAT here in UAE. So, you see, it's an initiative from UAE government to really encourage these innovators. At the same time, they are approaching in a very balanced way by putting in regulation and strong regulation in place. You do your job, you do your innovation, you do your trading, but with caution, and because it's new, the investor should not lose money. True.
I do have a quite hot question. So all meme coins are Ponzi. Is that true?
The name, look at the name. What is the name? Meme coin. So definitely, when you say meme coin, in my view, meme coin never regulated by anyone. And if you look at someone's face, some dog's face, some cat's face, talking about something, and it's spoiling the whole ecosystem. But surprisingly, people are going towards it because they thought it's a very small investment and they can make millions. So for me, absolutely meme coins has got no base. Please stay away from purchasing or participating in such a stuff. You will lose money. You are not going to gain money.
Here in Dubai, I can see that there are a lot of many real estate businesses, right? So let's say that I want to raise funds for a real estate. How can I do it? How does it work?
See, as far as that falls under real estate tokenization, and broadly speaking, they said real world asset tokenization, the flavor of the day now in this crypto bull run, because as you know, this bull run just started right now, it's going on. And real world asset tokenization is a flavor of the day. You can, if you have real estate, you want to raise fund, you can raise fund. And as your crypto backed by real estate, that gives a kind of trust. That trust issue. Like, see, you're just before some time, we're discussing about meme coin. What is there behind? What did back? Nothing. Nothing is backing that particular coin. But in this case, yes, your token backed by asset. That's the key pointer. So if you want to do real estate tokenization, first, from regulatory point of view, you need to have the wallet license. You need to have the token issuance license. You need to have a company, a firm, which will manage your property. Okay. Either you are a developer or you're an individual. Let's say, example, you're an individual, you want to tokenize. No need of doing tokenization yourself. For the tokenization, you take the help of many token platforms are there. Real estate tokenization you can do over there. There are RWA platforms are there. Many famous. Like Tokeny is one among them, very popular. You can go for them. Maybe you can raise fund. If you have one flat, you want to tokenize and raise fund, you can go there. And if you want to start it professionally, go for your own platform. Tokenize for yourself, for your properties, and for others' properties as well. That's a real good business as far as tokenization is concerned. And anyone who would like to get into tokenization business, this can be a relevant business where your token will be backed by the asset.
So if I want to start my crypto funds, arbitrage, and OTC business, how can I start it? From where do I start?
See, now crypto fund business or crypto arbitrage business, and you say over the counter, these are all connected with each other. Fund may be a little different. In case of crypto fund, yes, you can, this is a flavor of the day. You can always do that if you have expertise in that. So people were previously doing like fiat fund. They raise the fund, they utilize for different segments, then they return them back. So in case of crypto fund, you can do the same. Let's example, and crypto fund can invest in many places like on startups. Maybe they can involve in borrowing and lending business, can gain substantial amount of return out of it. So crypto funds can be exempt fund category where you can only target big investors. Otherwise, you can go for crypto retail fund as well. There are many jurisdictions where you can apply for this kind of licensing and start your business. That's a good business. Arbitrage businesses, if you see the USDT, I'll give an example. You are sitting in UAE, the USDT rate is different. If you go to any other part of Asia, that is different. There is huge difference. There is huge difference of maybe $4, $5, $6. That's a big business. If you know how to model it, let's example, one company, one firm here having the license of OTC, who can deal with buying and selling of crypto, and at the end of the day, you are buying it here. Let's say example, you want to sell it somewhere else in other part of the world. Let's say you want to sell it in India. Let's say you would like to sell it in Malaysia. If you look at the price gap of USDT from UAE to Malaysia or UAE to India, it is quite huge. this arbitrage business is quite interesting. How to structure it? I don't want to say everything in podcast. You can connect me. I will structure it for you how to do it.
We're in Dubai, January 2025. Look into the crypto ecosystem as it is at the moment, but also bear in mind from where we started it. What is your final thoughts, let's say, the message you would like to send out to the world about it?
Crypto. See, I would say this is the starting point, like 2025. We are like, I would say crypto is only, this is very young now, till now. Risen awareness among the investor and entrepreneur as well. If you look at those people, those who involved in this particular industry, they are Gen Zs. They're quite young. So the traditional businessman should get into this business, and there is a lot of scope. There's a lot of, it's a big business, and there are a lot of things can be done because it's quite new as a business. And 2025 is the beginning. I would say the Bitcoin, I'll not be surprised if in coming 5 years, Bitcoin will be maybe right now in 100,000, it will reach maybe $500,000, $600,000 per Bitcoin. It's not a big deal. The way it is right now, processing fast and furious. So 2025 is the beginning of crypto era right now. That's what I would say, because if you look at the regulation, all the countries are behind it. They're trying to put small, big, everyone. I never thought of those countries has already come up with the regulation. So I would expect 2025 is the beginning. By 2030, I don't see banks' existence in the same way they're existing right now. That's what I guess.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time. And we will say to the audience that if you have more hot questions, please leave your comments below. Thank you.
Thank you very much.